Hello Primary 2, how are you today? Today we are going to talk about representing data. How can we represent data? I can represent it by using two types of graphs. The first one is the bar graph and the second one is the pictograph. What do we mean by bar graph? Okay, so bar graph means I'm going to have a graph having some informations or some data on it on the horizontal axis and on the vertical axis. Let's look at this graph. It's a bar graph talking about the favorite sports. Okay, we have on the horizontal axis the sports or types of sports, and on the vertical axis we have number of children who prefer these types of sports. Okay, let's fill in the table we have here. I'm going to look first for the swimming sport, and I'm going to get or to collect my data from the graph. I'm going to look for the graph and see the swimming sport. How many children prefer the swimming sport? Yes, 15 children prefer the swimming sport. What about the horse riding sport? Yes, let's go to the graph. The horse riding sport, 5 of the children prefer it. Okay. What about the football sport? Yes, from the graph we have, or from the bar graph we have here, I have to look from down to up. Yes, how many? It's 20 children who likes football. Then the basketball sport, from the bar graph, I'm going to go from down to up. Yes, it's how many children? Yes, 10 children prefer the basketball sport. Okay, now still on this graph I have some questions to answer. The sport which is liked the least. Which is the sport which liked the least? From the bar graph I have here. Yes, let's look for the least sport. It's horse riding. It's horse riding. Okay, then which is the sport which is liked the most by the children? Yes, which have the extra number of children. It's the football sport. Now, what is the number of children who liked horse riding and basketball? So remember very well here I have the word and all of us know that and means what? Plus. So we are going to put two numbers and I have to add them together. The number of children who likes horse riding from my bar graph are 5, and the number of the children who like the basketball sport are 10. So I'm going to add 5 plus 10 equals to 15 children. Let's now remember some notes about the pictograph. Let's remember some notes about the pictograph, and this is the second type of the graphs we have here to represent the data. Pictograph shows the data using pictures. For sure, its name is pictograph from pictures. Okay? Every pictograph should have 3 things. First of all, it must have a title. The title tells us what the pictograph is about. Second is the pictures. The pictures tells us the given number of objects we have on the graph. And third thing is the key, which tells us the number that each picture is equal to. Let's solve an exercise here. Yes, I have here the pictograph. Let's look for the things we agreed that we have to have it on the pictograph. First I have a title, which is favorite drinks. Then I have the pictures. Then I have the key. Okay? So the pictures are the stars and the key are, yes, each one star is representing how many children? Each one star represents 10 children, and each half star represents 5 children. Let's fill in the table we have here. Get the data and put it inside this table. I want to know how many children likes water. So from the pictograph I have how many? I have 3 stars, and I'm going to replace each star by 10 children. So I'm going to put 10 plus 10 plus 10. So counting by 10, 10 plus 10 plus 10 gives me 30. So there are 30 children who prefer water. What about the juice? Yes, let's look for the pictograph we have. We have how many stars here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we are going to replace each star by how many children? By 10 children. And let's count by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So how many children prefer juice? 50 children. Okay, the last drink we have here is the milk. From the pictograph, I have 3 stars, 3 full stars, and half star. So let's represent it by children. Yes, it will be 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5, because I have here half star, which represented by the children by 5 children. So I'm going to count 10, 20, 30, and 5. It will be equals to 35. So 35 children prefer the milk. Okay? Okay, now let's answer this question. How many children choose milk? From the table we got here, from the table of the favorite drinks, how many children choose milk? Yes, 35 children. And how many more children choose juice than water? Yes, remember, more than. More than means what? Minus. So I'm going to subtract the number of children who prefer juice. Yes, and I'm going to take from it what? The number of children who prefer water. So juice is 50 minus 30 equals to 20 children.